Welcome back everyone, I'm Witch Hazel and today we are talking about the true meaning of Yule. Alright, so first and foremost, thank you to everyone for not pointing out too harshly the faux pas I made with the Yule video. I was so wrapped up in this idea of balance and creating balance at this time of year in preparation for the new year that I mixed up my solstice and equinox explanations. So I wanted to correct that firstly in this video. Second, I want to dive into the actual to me meaning of Yule. So we know that this corresponds to the solstice, so it is a natural phenomenon, right, of a time of year, a change of season. The most interesting part of it is actually the focus on the return of light. So what do I mean by that? Well, on the solstice, on the 21st, we actually have the longest night of the year. Basically, the shortest amount of daylight followed by the longest night. And then that's when we officially go into the days starting to get a little bit longer, although we really won't realize it. We won't see it much until Imbolc in February. But the idea there is that there is this growth of light. So that tiny little spark is what is born now at Yule. And the fun part about it is it doesn't really matter if you are looking at this strictly from a nature perspective, from a pagan seasonal perspective, or if you are taking a religious view, even a monotheistic religious view, as in Christianity and Christmas. Because what is the birth of Jesus but the birth of the divine on earth, right? In that story system, you have a created being who is divine here on earth. We can look at it the same way from a pagan perspective or from a nature perspective, that we now have an opportunity to actively bring the sense of divine, that divine spark, that universal light that we know is in existence. We can bring it into our lives now. We can bring it onto this earth through our preparation and our activities now and into the new year. So that is what makes it so special at this time of year. We're not just goal setting because there are things that we want to do or things we want to achieve. We are creating a divine life, and an actively divine life, or a purposeful divine life, meaning we are recognizing this spark of light that is inside each of us. We forget about it throughout the year. We tend to, we know it's there, but we get into life and things and stuff, and we forget that we ourselves are divine. We would not be living and breathing if we didn't have that spark in us. Every living thing on this earth has that spark. So now, in this quiet time, in this dark time, when we see in the relationship between the light and the dark, the sun, the movements of the earth, we can see the return of light starting to happen, and we can equate this then with ourselves and our inner spark. So, hopefully that made a little bit of sense. I find it all massively interesting and just cosmically amazing. but you know, I'm weird like that. So what I am going to share with you for the remainder of this Yuletide season is my planning for the next year, to include both the pragmatic planning, just setting goals and that sort of thing, and how I am incorporating or planning to incorporate that ongoing sense of divine into my everyday to create a magical life. But I will talk more about that, about creating a magical life and the fact that life is magical, in tomorrow's video. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be, everyone.